are you calling the police on a 12-year-old that's out here cutting grass?
Stick with us on this one because 12-year-old Reggie Fields, pictured right there, is running his own business this summer in Maple Heights.
He's cutting lawns and cleaning up yards, and that's what he was doing the other day when someone called 911 asking police to make him stop. Only on News 5, our Tara Molina is joining us live right now. Tara, you learned that that call actually ended up backfiring on the people behind it.
Danita, pretty silly stuff here, but it sure did, and over a piece of grass about this big. At first, this discouraged that young man, but that one call helped him get more business than he could have ever imagined. Determination in his eyes and his posture.
He is very motivated.
With a lawnmower almost as big as he is. 12-year-old Reginald Field is on his toes, doing business.
I'm having fun at the same time cutting.
His new business, Mr. Reggie's lawn cutting service.
I like just being out the house.
And with several helping hands and his cousins, brothers and sisters, this group is up with the sun every day, working the neighborhood. And it's been smooth cutting this summer, until an incident a couple days ago. A new crew pulling up at Miss Lucille's house, where they were working for the first time. Maple Heights Police.
They said I was cutting their grass, but I didn't know it.
Lucille told me she quickly learned how to complain.
They said that the kids cut their grass.
Claiming the group cut a section of their property and were in their yard. Yes, called police on children cutting grass. Reggie said he was discouraged for a minute.
I was like, that's a shame, because I didn't know.
But no longer than that. Because the post Lucille put on Facebook about what happened ended up with thousands of views, hundreds of shares.
I guess I have like a line where part of it is not my yard. They called the police to tell the police that the kids was cutting their grass.
And now, Mr. Reggie is getting a lot of support for his new business. From people seeing this and wanting to make sure he's never discouraged again.
People are, inboxing me like, how can I get in touch with these children? Where are they at? I got property that I even want these kids to, to cut their grass.
His lesson learned? No matter what life throws at you, just keep pushing, just keep moving.
Just give me a call. I will be there on time.
Something tells me Mr. Reggie's going to be getting a lot more calls tonight, but he, his siblings, and his cousins are already hearing from folks all over the city. This is certainly growing their business. He told me he's trying to raise some more money to expand it even more. As for that neighbor who called the cops, they called our station, but they didn't want to go on camera. Reporting live in Maple Heights tonight, Tara Molina, News 5.
Okay, before I get started with the story, I have to give a shout out to LAR Movement for sending me this story right here. And before I go in on the neighbors who I just have the strongest feeling are the stain, I have to give a huge shout out to this boy right here. When I first was like going into this story, I expected to be more mad or frustrated than anything, but not surprised. But it actually would put a smile on my face more than anything. Like, here you have this 12-year-old boy who could be doing anything with his time right now over the summer. Anything with his time. And he chose to start his own lawn mowing business. And didn't just do it by himself. He got his brothers and his sisters and his cousins involved. Like, they're running their own little family business that who knows could turn into something big. Mainly because of a backfire. And shout out to the woman. Her name is Lucille. I'm going to be respectful and say Miss Lucille, who posted the video and helped it. And, because by her doing it, it went viral. And it ended up bringing this kid, more business than he could have ever imagined. And I believe the business is in Cleveland. It's in Ohio. I do know that. I'll post a link to the article down in the description so you can see it. But yeah, it actually did more good than harm. And the reporter said, well, first of all, I go on to about that part. What I liked the most of this whole story was when the boy Reggie said he just likes being outside. You do not find many kids of this generation saying stuff like that. A lot of them would rather be indoors playing video games on YouTube or in their phone. This boy is taking it old school, and he is going outside and he's cutting people's grass to make money. Because, you know, like, I have to give a shout out to his parents, because they've instilled in him a entrepreneurial mindset at a very young age. Who knows what this can turn into years from now, or even in the near future, especially now after the story went viral and he's getting a lot of business. And he says, you can call me, I have a card. The boy's ready. He is ready. Now on to those neighbors. The reporter said at the end of the report that they did not want to be on camera. I bet they didn't want to be on camera because they were embarrassed. They were banking that something bad would have came out of this. Just like with Permit Patty, when she got exposed by that little girl's mother, when she made that call about the permit, she went and tried to duck and hide behind that thing, but she was already on camera. And see, those neighbors, they had to call from their house. They did not do it out in the open. So we don't know what they look like, but I'm almost certain they're probably white. And I bet the police was like, you actually called us because someone started cutting your yard. The boy honestly didn't know that it was that it was their property, you know, because some lawns, if it's not a fence up to divide the houses, you will not know which part of the property is or is not yours. So he genuinely made a mistake. And besides, I'm sure that mistake was doing them a favor anyway. Maybe he saw that their grass was a little too high and he decided to help cut it. They should have took it at face value. And I bet you they're probably an older group of people. He was doing them a favor. But now that you've done this and thought it was going to work in your favor, you actually done him a favor. Now he going to be making, him and his family and his business going to be making a lot of money over the summer. A lot of money over the summer. Before he and his family has to go back to school. Because they're all young. Like when I was looking at it, they're all young. Like none of them look like they're over the age of 18. But I definitely applaud this boy for what he's doing. I'm glad that he didn't get too discouraged. I mean, I can understand what could happen and everything like that. But it's like, it's ridiculous. Like, you actually called the cops because someone was cutting your grass. And when I was sent the story, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do this, because it sounds like a story that I heard about last year, where it was another black boy. I think this was in California or some kind of suburban neighborhood, where he was cutting people's grass, and he actually had the cops called on him, and they were asking him the same thing about, like, cutting the grass, being petty. Like, they are doing this because, like I said in other videos, they're using, or they're trying to use, the police as a weapon. And see, every time they do this, it always backfires on them. When Barbecue Becky did this, what ended up happening? People came out and ended up having a barbecue style party the very next weekend. When Permit Patty did what she did, the girl ended up getting the tickets to Disneyland, which is what her mother was trying to do. And what ended up happening with this, they called the cops and it backfired on them, and he ended up getting more business, which means him and his family and his business are going to make more money. So I hope, you know what, let them keep doing stuff like this. Because it seems to me, as long as the party that they're calling on doesn't get hurt, the party that they're called to with the intent to try to ruin, so to speak, always prevails at the end of the day. Now, now there are cases where you had people who did get hurt by this, such as Tamir Rice, people such as John Crawford, and it's probably some others, but those are the two that come to mind. And ironically, both of those individuals were killed in the same state as where this boy is conducting his business, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the same city. And Tamir Rice and this boy well, Tamir Rice was 12 and he's 12. The irony of it all. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.